Hey guys, welcome back. This is Naresh. So in this video, we will learn very important concept in Selenium, which is called Selenium Grid. So what is Selenium Grid? Okay. So see guys, what happened that sometime there's a need that we have to run our scripts on different machines and on different version of the browser. And when we want to do that, because we are working on just one machine, right now we are, just running on our own machine like Windows 10 or Windows 8 or Windows 7, but there's a possibility that I need to run my scripts on some different browsers and maybe on the different machine also, just to make sure, my scripts are running fine on those. Okay, and there can also be a need that I can parallelly execute my test cases on the different browser at the same time on different machines. So there is a concept came for Selenium Grid, so that we can run our scripts on different browsers on different machines with a different configuration. Okay, so let me show you one diagram which can explain you how we can use Selenium Grid for running our scripts. So this is the diagram for that. Okay, so if you see that the code which we have written is in this machine, which is our local machine. It says local system, and this is our local machine, which is Windows. Okay, or it can be any machine. It can be your Linux machine or any other machine. So we have written our code here, and it can be any code. For example, it can be our WebDriver plus Java, or it can be with the Python or any other Perl or any other programming language which you are using. Okay, so this is our local machine. All right. So now we have to set up a network so that our scripts get run on different machines. So how do we do that? Okay. For that, what we need to do, we have to run one jar file, which is called Selenium Server Standalone jar file. Okay. We have to run this jar file onto our system. So what this will do, as soon as we run this jar file, it will create a hub. Okay. Hub means, a server. It will create a server for us. All right, so whatever commands we have given for the in our code, it will first go to this server, and then the server will go ahead and will try to interact with different machines. Okay, and one more thing, before it get interact with different machines, we have to make sure we have different machines onto our network. So let's say I have one to three more machines which are connected to my network. That is, one machine is Windows, one machine is Linux, one machine is Mac. So what I need to do so that the server can interact with this machine, I have to run the same server standalone jar file into this machine also. So I will run this jar file onto these machines. Okay, so that a virtual machine is created. So whenever my code is interacting with the server will decide on the basis of the configuration which we have given here, that on which machine it has to execute the script. And on the basis of the configuration, I mean to say the configuration which are set and the desired capabilities. So if you know, in Selenium there is a class called desired capabilities, in which we can set some configuration onto which our scripts get run on some particular browser. So the same configuration, on the basis of that, my server will decide that on which machine my script will run, and this server will interact with these machine, because this standalone jar file is also in these client machine. Okay, which is called as node. All right, so we call these client machine as node. So this is node 1, node 2, and node 3. So this hub server will interact with these machine, and on the basis of that it can execute the script. Okay, and if you see here, these machines are also running this server standalone jar. Okay, but what is the difference between the jar file which is running on my local machine and the jar file running on this virtual machine is that the role of this jar file would be a hub here, and the role of this jar file would be a node here. So when we will configure these machines with the standalone server jar file, we will run that on different roles. This will be run on the on the hub role, and this will be run on the node role. Okay, so this is how this is done, and we also have to make sure that on these machine we also have that driver.exe. For example, you can see there's a Chrome driver.exe, Gecko driver.exe. All these exe should be there on this machine, so that whenever my server decides that it need to run on different machines, then it should be able to find out the driver, because otherwise it will give us an error. Okay, so basically Selenium grid is a concept of Selenium itself. Okay, and in which we can run our scripts on different machines which we want. These machines can be, a virtual machine. It can be, on your own local system. It can be on some remote system, or it can be on some cloud, because nowadays, on cloud also they has provided some facilities so that we can run these different scripts and different configuration on the cloud also. So I will also tell you how to run our scripts on cloud. But for now, the first in first program I will tell you how to run our scripts on different virtual machines. Okay, so this is the entire concept of the Selenium grid. Okay, and also one more thing before I go ahead, the interaction, whatever happens between here to here to here, it's happen on the JSON wire protocol. Okay, so if in interview somebody asks you that how the interaction happens, you can let them know that on the basis of JSON wire protocol, which is over HTTP, the interaction happens, and there is a server and there are some node, and on the server will decide that on which node my scripts should run, and on the basis of that, the server run the scripts on the node, and we just have to give the configuration into our script, and we just have to run our script. So there are three things which we have to do. First, we need to give a configuration on the script that our scripts in run on which machine on the basis of desired capabilities. And we have to run the Selenium standalone server jar, and its role will be hub. So this is the second thing. The third thing would be we have to run this standalone jar on different virtual machines here. All right. And once we have done that, we just have to run our scripts, and it will run on the different machines on the basis of the configuration we have given. Okay, so this is a simple concept of Selenium grid. Now, in the next video, I will tell you how to do it practically and how to run it on the cloud also. All right. Thank you for watching this video.